Okay, everyone. It's in session again. Whoever thumbs this down, it doesn't matter. You're not stopping nothing. And let me keep going. And this is what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about now. Some people use this in business. Some people. I'm adjusting my camera, making sure I could at least be. Yeah, I think I'm okay. There should be more y'all watching this. I'll tell you that shit. But that's okay. Maybe one day you'll get it together. What I wanted to say, Sun Tzu says, for each opportunity seized, another presents itself. And if you know what to look for, you'll have an opportunity to seize something of value. Just like I seized the opportunity of asteroid Psyche 16. And so when everybody was on the same old shit, trying to take everybody's shit, guess what? I used NASA eyes to claim my prize. And so there's a difference between take and seize. There's a difference between take and seize. Take is just what it says. You taking it from someone. But seize doesn't necessarily mean take. It just means taking advantage of the opportunity in quick fashion. That's what seize means, more or less, not take from somewhere. And so if you on point, if you on guard, you'll be able to seize an opportunity to make yourself useful, just like using skill sets and everything else. And so we're going to go over some of these lessons of Sun Tzu and discuss some of this. Some of this stuff, most of this stuff is still relevant. But check this out. Y'all need to hear more of this too, because everybody got their skill sets. I'm going to teach you this because I actually did this. And let me tell you something, man. The negative beings are in charge of this planet, and they don't want us with anything. We're just going to have to take it from them. And let's go over some of these lessons.
It is only one who is thoroughly acquainted with the evils of war that can thoroughly understand the profitable way of carrying it on. The skillful soldier does not raise a second levy, neither are his supply wagons loaded more than twice. Bring war material with you home, but forage on the enemy. Thus, the army will have food enough for its needs.
That's what they doing.
Poverty of the state exchequer causes an army to be maintained by contributions from a distance. Contributing to maintain an army at a distance causes the people to be impoverished. On the other hand, the proximity of an army causes prices to go up, and high prices cause the people's substance to be drained away. When their substance is drained away, the peasantry will be afflicted by heavy exactions. With this loss of substance and exhaustion of strength, the homes of the people will be stripped bare, and 3/10 of their income will be dissipated, while government expenses for broken chariots, worn-out horses, breastplates and helmets, bows and arrows, spears and shields, protected mantles, draft oxen, and heavy wagons will amount to 4/10 of its total revenue.
Trucks,
hence,
radars,
the wise general makes
missiles.
a point of foraging on the enemy. 1 cartload of the enemy's provisions is equivalent to 20 of one's own, and likewise, a single pickle of his provender is equivalent to 20 from his own store. Now, in order to kill the enemy, our men must be roused to anger. That there may be advantage from defeating the enemy, they must have their rewards. Therefore, in chariot fighting, when 10 or more chariots have been taken, those should be rewarded who took the first. Our own flags should be substituted for those of the enemy.
Look, this is now. Listen to this now. This is how you keep the peace and reward your soldiers. America don't believe in this. Now listen to this again.
This is called using the conquered foe to augment one's own strength.
Now let's go through this again.
Advantage from defeating the enemy, they must have their rewards.
They must have their rewards. Therefore, what the fuck I look like working all the time,
10 or more
risking my life, about to get killed for y'all lazy motherfuckers. I can't even get disability.
Substituted for those of the enemy, and the chariots mingled and used in conjunction with ours. The captured soldiers should be kindly treated.
Look, check this out. Look. Was the prison Abu Ghraib prison in Iraq? Did they treat these guys good? Now check this out. Or humane, for all we
know. The conquered foe, our men must be roused to anger. That there may be advantage from defeating the enemy, they must have their rewards. Therefore, in chariot fighting, when 10 or more chariots have been taken, those should be rewarded who took the first. Our own flags should be substituted for those of the enemy, and the chariots mingled and used in conjunction with ours. The captured soldiers should be kindly treated and kept. This is called using the conquered foe to augment one's own strength. In war, then, let your great object be victory, not lengthy campaigns. Thus, it may be known that the leader of armies is the arbiter of the people's fate, the man on whom it depends whether the nation shall be in peace or in peril.
And that's pretty much it for right now.
Attack by stratagem. Sun Tzu said, in the practical art of war, the best thing of all is to take the enemy's country whole and intact. To shatter and destroy it is not so good.
Look, so, totally different. Look, I agree. I agree. You know why? Because conquerors can't fix a motherfucking thing. Once they conquer something, the civilization gonna go down and down and down into the motherfucking gut. I agree with this. I agree. Everybody else like to destroy every motherfucking thing and can't fix nothing. I agree with this shit. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to. I ain't saying you have to motherfucking agree with me. I agree with him. I agree. We gonna go through this shit. We gonna go through this shit and give opinions and critical analysis. I agree. What the fuck you gonna destroy every motherfucking thing for? Then you gotta spend 3 times as much energy to get it back. And after you took the people food, they gonna die off. You ain't got nothing to bargain with. And it's just some bullshit, man. Y'all don't know how to run this planet. Y'all don't, man. And let's see what else they got going on. Let's go through some more. Let's go through this. Let's go through this guy. Let's go through mastery. Wait a minute. Let's go through a little bit of the 48 Laws of Power. When I first heard about this book, I was in prison. And this is the play-by-play book that the people in control use. And they're not even they're not even masters of a lot of shit. You can take territory from them. And let me tell you something, man. When you too big, leave a lot of territory open for attack, man. And speed beats size and strength. Speed beats size and strength. But you got to execute well. Execution is the key. And so let's see what they say in the 48 Laws of Power. And I'm going to give you my opinion.
Power is a social game. To learn and master it, you must develop the ability to study and understand people. As the great 17th century thinker and courtier Balthasar Gracian wrote, many people spend time studying the properties of animals or herbs. How much more important it would be to study those of people with whom we must live or die. To be a master player, you must also be a master psychologist. You must recognize motivations and see through the cloud of dust with which people surround their actions.
And the Nazis been
An
kicking
understanding of
y'all
people's hidden motives
asses
is the single greatest
right
piece
in
of
your
knowledge you
face.
can have in acquiring power.
Make you
It opens up
racist
endless
against
possibilities
me,
of
and I'm
deception,
trying to help.
seduction, and manipulation.
We got something to
People are
bargain
of
with, though,
infinite
now.
complexity, and you can spend a
Greed
lifetime watching them without ever fully
knows
understanding
no
them.
limits. We
So
got
it is all the
something
more
to bargain
important,
with
then,
now.
to begin your education now. In doing so, you must also keep one principle in mind. Never discriminate as to whom you study and whom you trust. Never trust anyone completely, and study everyone, including friends and loved ones. Finally, you must learn always to take the indirect route to power. Disguise your cunning.
Look, wait. Let's stop right here. Let's stop right here. Let's stop right here. Let's stop right here, right here. Let's stop right here. Let's go over this shit one more time and let's see what they say, because this is what 98% of the people do. 98% of the people like this.
Moves must be planned and developed. In doing so, you must also keep one principle in mind. Never discriminate as to whom you study and whom you trust. Never trust anyone completely, and study everyone, including friends and loved ones. Finally, you must learn always to take the indirect route to power. Disguise your cunning. Like a billiard ball that caroms several times before it hits its target, your moves must be planned and developed in the least obvious way.
Now look, let's stop right there. You heard that? The indirect about that shit don't work for me. That shit don't motherfucking, that shit don't, I can't take the indirect route to a motherfucking thing. So why try? Why if I know y'all not gonna let me take the indirect route, why the fuck am I wasting my time letting y'all talk me into it? I'm gonna forge right ahead, whether you know I'm coming or not. You just gonna have to deal with it, because I can't fucking run. Everybody can't take the indirect fucking route to power, but that's the game 98% of the people play. The 2% like me, ain't no motherfucking way y'all gonna let me pity pat my way up to power. I'm gonna take the shit right in your motherfucking face. And y'all know I can do it too. I'm not gonna tell you shit that I'm not gonna do. 98% of them actors out there, that's how they are. I'm not like this shit. I'm not a rookie at this. And look, I can't take no indirect route to shit. I'm just gonna come take the shit when I'm ready. That's all to it. Cause I can't hide my feelings. I can't hide how I look. I can't hide how I feel. None of that shit. I can't hide how other people project me. Fuck all that, man. Fuck all that. Fuck all of that shit. Fuck it. I just come straight up and just handle the business. Because that's what they want you to do. Wear yourself out. Trying to please them. And so let's go.
To be indirect, you can thrive in the modern court, appearing the paragon of decency while being the consummate manipulator. Consider the 48 Laws of Power a kind of handbook on the arts of indirection. The laws are based on the writings of men and women who have studied and mastered the game of power. These writings span a period of more than 3,000 years and were created in civilizations as disparate as ancient China and Renaissance Italy. Yet they share common threads and themes, together hinting at an essence of power that is yet to be fully articulated. The 48 Laws of Power are the distillation of this accumulated wisdom, gathered from the writings of the most illustrious strategists, Sun Tzu, Clausewitz, statesmen, Bismarck, Talleyrand, courtiers, Castiglione, Gracian, seducers, Ninon de l'Enclos, Casanova, and con artists, Yellow Kid Wilde, in history.
That's who Obama look up to. If you look in this book, this guy, yellow boy, whatever his name is, just like Obama, just like him, just like him. They got the same personality. If you read this book and matter of fact, you know what Obama like to do? Scam over all of the best media and cherry pick, and then he'll present that, win a Grammy. You can't do that shit, man. You don't get no credibility for doing that shit. You got to come up with something genuine and consistent. He can't do it. Now, what I want to talk about is most people take the indirect route to power. I can't do it. I don't even try. Matter of fact, I don't even try to get power. Power comes to me by just doing what I do. And I'll explain to that later, because power don't come from money. Power comes from the spirit.
The laws have a simple premise.
Now let's go over
Certain
something
actions
else.
almost always increase one's power. The observance of the law. While others decrease it and even ruin us. The transgression of the law. These transgressions and observances are illustrated by historical examples. The laws are timeless and definitive. The 48 laws of power can be used in several ways. By reading the book straight through, you can learn about power in general. Although several of the laws may not seem to pertain directly to your life.
Now don't learn this shit and come try to attack me with it. Don't learn it. Look, that's disrespectful learning from a teacher. And then gonna come attack him with it. Y'all must be looking like motherfucking fools. That's bad luck too. That's bad luck.
A thorough reading of the book will inspire thinking and reevaluation long after you finish it.
Because they ain't got shot calling.
The book has also been designed for browsing.
They ain't got no books about shot calling well, they got a couple of books, but they don't really have no
and cannot understand efforts
official how you supposed to act.
Several laws specifically address the master-underling relationship.
Let's go to something else.
Almost certainly transgressing one of them. By browsing the initial paragraphs for the 48 laws in the table of contents, you can identify the pertinent law. Finally, the book can be browsed.
Let's go into mastery, because that's what we need to do.
It doesn't exist. The effortless path to practical power, the quick and easy solution, the El Dorado of the mind. At the same time that so many people lose themselves in these endless fantasies, they ignore the one real power that they actually possess. And unlike magic or simplistic formulas, we can see the material effects of this power in history. The great discoveries and inventions, the magnificent buildings and works of art, the technological prowess we possess, all works of the masterful mind.
Masterful
this
mind.
Power brings to those who possess it the kind of connection to reality and the ability to alter the world that the mystics and magicians of the past could only dream of.
And see, that's pretty much me. I have no power. I have willpower. That's about it.
Genius, and have thought of it as inaccessible. They have seen it as the product of privilege, inborn talent, or just the right alignment of the stars. They have made it seem as if it were as elusive as magic. But that wall is imaginary.
But I do have one of the world's
the brain that we possess,
most respected magicians sending me stuff, trying to get me the stuff. I bought some of the stuff. I just never studied it. I got a lot of other stuff going on.
The latent power within us all. The evolution of mastery. For 3 million years, we were hunter-gatherers, and it was through the evolutionary pressures of that way of life that a brain so adaptable and creative eventually emerged. Today, we stand with the brains of hunter-gatherers in our heads. Richard Leakey. It is hard for us to imagine now, but our earliest human ancestors who ventured out onto the grasslands of East Africa some 6 million years ago were remarkably weak and vulnerable creatures. They stood less than 5 feet tall. They walked upright and could run on their 2 legs, but nowhere near as fast as the swift predators on four legs that pursued them. They were skinny. Their arms could not provide much defense. They had no claws or fangs or poison to resort to if under attack. To gather fruits, nuts, and insects, or to scavenge dead meat, they had to move out into the open savanna where they became easy prey to leopards or packs of hyenas. So weak and small in number, they might have easily become extinct. And yet within the space of a few million years, remarkably short on the timescale of evolution, these rather physically unimpressive ancestors of ours transformed themselves into the most formidable hunters on the planet. What could possibly account for such a miraculous turnaround? Some have speculated that it was their standing on two legs, which freed up the hands to make tools with their opposable thumbs and precision. But such physical explanations miss the point. Our dominance, our mastery does not stem from our hands, but from our brains, from our fashioning the mind into the most powerful instrument known in nature, far more powerful than any claw. And at the root of this mental transformation are two simple biological traits, the visual and the social, that primitive humans leveraged into power. Our earliest ancestors were descended from primates who thrived for millions of years in a treetop environment, and who in the process had evolved one of the most remarkable visual systems in nature. To move quickly and efficiently in such a world, they developed extremely sophisticated eye and muscle coordination. Their eyes slowly evolved into a full frontal position on the face, giving them binocular stereoscopic vision. This system provides the brain a highly accurate three-dimensional and detailed perspective, but is rather narrow. Animals that possess such vision, as opposed to eyes on the side or half side, are generally efficient predators like owls or cats. They use this powerful sight to home in on prey in the distance. Tree-living primates evolved this vision for a different purpose, to navigate branches and to spot fruits, berries, and insects with greater effectiveness. They also evolved elaborate color vision. When our earliest human ancestors left the trees and moved to the open grasslands of the savanna, they adopted an upright stance. Possessing already this powerful visual system, they could see far into the distance. Giraffes and elephants might stand taller, but their eyes are on the sides, giving them instead panoramic vision. This allowed them to spot dangerous predators far away on the horizon and detect their movements even in twilight. Given a few seconds or minutes, they could plot a safe retreat.
All right, let's go back
At the
to
same
Sun
time,
Tzu.
if they focused on
and
what
wrap
was
this
nearest
up.
at hand, they could identify all kinds of important
than to destroy it. To capture a regiment, a detachment, or a 4. Tactical dispositions.
Y'all need to be more tactical with
Sun
these
Tzu said,
terrestrials.
the good fighters of old first put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat, and then waited for an opportunity of defeating the enemy. To secure ourselves against defeat lies in our own hands, but the opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself.
You hear that?
Thus-
Look, look, see that? Let's go over this again. Thanks.
He will win who, prepared himself, waits to take the enemy unprepared. He will win who has military capacity and is not interfered with by the sovereign. It will be weak.
Let's go
Hence,
over there.
to fight and conquer in all your battles is not supreme excellence. Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. Thus, the highest form of generalship is to balk the enemy's plans. The next best is to prevent the junction of the enemy's forces. The next in order is to attack the enemy's army in the field. And the worst policy of all is to besiege walled cities. The rule is not to besiege walled cities if it can possibly be avoided. The preparation of mantlets, movable shelters, and various implements of war will take up 3 whole months, and the piling up of mounds over against the walls will take 3 months more. The general, unable to control his irritation,
will launch his men to the assault like swarming ants, with the result that 1/3 of his men are slain, while the town still remains untaken. Such are the disastrous effects of a siege. Therefore, the skillful
Pretty
leader
much,
subdues the enemy's
trying
troops
to take
without
a
any
city,
fighting. He captures their cities
more than
without laying
likely,
siege to them.
you're not
He
going to take a
overthrows their
city.
kingdom
You know, a
without
siege
lengthy
a
operations
city,
in the field.
not if they
With
well
his
defended,
forces
you're going to
intact,
lose
he
1/3
will
of your men.
dispute the mastery
If
of
they doing, you're
and
going to
thus,
lose 1/3 of
without
your
losing a
men
man,
trying to
his
siege the
triumph
city.
will be complete. This is the method of attacking by stratagem. It is the rule in war, if our forces are 10 to the enemy's 1, to surround him.
Look,
If
listen.
5 to 1, to attack him.
Look,
If
listen
twice
how
as
you
numerous,
saving energy.
to
Look,
divide our army into 2.
check this out. This is what y'all need to learn this. I'm going to have to do this again. This one right here. Look, check this out.
And the piling up of mounds over against the walls will take 3 months more. The general, unable to control his irritation, will launch his men to the assault like swarming ants, with the result that 1/3 of his men are slain, while the town still remains untaken. Such are the disastrous effects of a siege. Therefore, the skillful leader subdues the enemy's troops without any fighting. He captures their cities without laying siege to them. He overthrows their kingdom without lengthy operations in the field. With his forces intact, he will dispute the mastery of the empire, and thus, without losing a man, his triumph will be complete. This is the method of attacking by stratagem. It is the rule in war, if our forces are 10 to the enemy's 1,
10 to
surround
1.
him.
Surround him.
If 5 to 1,
5 to 1.
to attack him.
Attack
If
him.
twice as numerous, to divide our army into 2. If equally matched, we can offer battle. If slightly inferior in numbers, we can avoid the enemy. If quite unequal in every way, we can flee from him. Hence, though an obstinate fight may be made by a small force, in the end it must be captured by the larger force. Now, the general is the bulwark of the state. If the bulwark is complete at all points, the state will be strong. If the bulwark is defective, the state will be weak. There are 3 ways in which a ruler can bring misfortune upon his army. By commanding the army to advance or to retreat, being ignorant of the fact that it cannot obey. This is called hobbling the army. By attempting to govern an army in the same way as he administers a kingdom, being ignorant of the conditions which obtain in an army. This causes restlessness in the soldiers' minds.
That means you can't run
By
the army
employing
like the
officers of
city.
his army without discrimination, through ignorance of the military principle of adaptation to circumstances. This shakes the confidence of the soldiers. But when the army is restless and distrustful, trouble is sure to come from the other feudal princes. This is simply bringing anarchy into the army and flinging victory away. Thus, we may know that there are 5 essentials for victory. He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. He will win who knows how to handle both superior and inferior forces. He will win whose army is animated by the same spirit throughout all its ranks. He will win who, prepared himself, waits to take the enemy unprepared. He will win who has military capacity and is not interfered with by the sovereign. Hence the saying, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result
That's
of
the
100
key.
battles.
Know the
If you know
enemy
yourself, but
and
not
know
the enemy,
yourself.
for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. Neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every
If
battle.
you don't know yourself or the enemy, you will be defeated every
4.
time.
Tactical dispositions.
We'll go over tactical dispositions another time.